Hello there, guys. Welcome back to the channel and hope you all are doing well today. So, Chelsea go on to take Atalanta at their home ground tomorrow under the Champions League light. This one is one of those Champions League nights where context matters, yeah? Both teams, Chelsea and Atalanta, come into this game with 10 points apiece, and both teams coming off flat in their respective domestic leagues. Both teams are definitely and urgently needing a quick response. Atlanta lost 3-1 to Verona at the weekend, and a result that raised serious questions about their balance and focus in the Serie A. While Chelsea dropped a toothless performance in a 0-0 draw against Bournemouth. Okay, a performance that lacked sharpness, urgency, and incision. So let's be real. It's not just going to be about, it's not about momentum right now. It's about reaction. And there's no better place, excuse me, I'm just gassing up. There's no better place to respond than under the lights of a Champions League night. Okay, people will downplay this because it's not a glamour tie. And I don't think that should be the case. Okay, I don't think it should be downplayed. Both sides are level on point. One strong performance here can actually shift the entire group dynamics. One weak showing and suddenly pressure starts to creep in. So, especially for Chelsea, this is about showing personality away from home. It's also about showing structure with aggression and proving Bournemouth wasn't a mental hangover but a warning. And this game demands intent. So, with that being said, let's talk about the big talking point around Chelsea. Cole Palmer was not seen in training, and most importantly, it's not due to injury. It's a management. It's a situation where the fitness of Cole Palmer needs to be managed. After seeing how rusty he looked at the weekend against Bournemouth, the Chelsea management and coaching team are prioritizing his sharpness, fitness, and load management, and that tells you two things. Palmer isn't is not meant to be rushed. It should not be rushed, and I agree with this um, 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 decision. Okay, Chelsea are thinking about the long game, and meanwhile, Moises Caicedo is expected to be back for this clash, and that changes everything for Chelsea because Chelsea without Caicedo is one team, but Chelsea with Caicedo is a different level structurally. Okay, because what does the return of Caicedo in the Chelsea lineup mean for Chelsea? It means that there's better protection in transition and more confidence for fullbacks to step higher and less chaos when Chelsea lose possession. And against Atlanta, a team that thrives in disorder, stability is very, very important and massive. Okay, pairing Caicedo with um, uh, Reece James in the double pivot gives Chelsea physical security, tactical discipline, and leadership under pressure. And this setup is about, for me, I believe, is about control first and not chaos at all. And how do Atlanta set up? How do they play? They usually operate in a 3-4-2-1 formation or a 3-4-1-2 shape under their coach. A man oriented pressing, wing backs pushed aggressively, and constant midfield runners. And they don't sit back, they just don't wait for you. They just try to force you to make mistake they want to push you and press you to make mistakes. And we also need to put into context that they have not been doing very well against in their league, so to say. Just against Verona, where they lost 3-1, they you could see that I noticed that there was so much defensive. The defensive spacing was quite poor. The recovery runs were slow, and wide areas were very exposed. Were very much exposed. Atlanta are intense, but intensity without control actually becomes very, very reckless, and they've been very, very reckless this season. Meanwhile, it doesn't mean that we should disrespect and underestimate their danger man in the person of Ademola Lukman. He is one person that you cannot afford to sleep on. You make one mistake, someone like Lukman is going to make you pay for it. He's very, very explosive over short distances with excellent attacking. He's very, very excellent at attacking half spaces and directing transition. If Chelsea's right side switches off for even a moment, Lukman becomes a very, very big problem. And it's going to be a long night for whoever is going to be playing at the right back. Another key contribution that Chelsea also have to keep in check is their midfielder, Ederson. He's got high intensity, high energy, and he carries the ball very well. And just like Enzo Fernandez is a late box crasher, he runs into the box, he crashes into the box just like Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea need to stay very compact between the lines. But then again, we also talk about their weaknesses, their weak link, and because of the way they are set up, their biggest weak link right now is the space behind the wing backs. When they commit numbers forward, the centre backs get dragged out. They get dragged out wide. The gaps open in defensive channels, and recovery pace is not elite enough. Fast direct wing plays can hurt them very well, and I think we have that in players like Gittins, Garnacho, Pedro Neto, even Esteval. Again, this is where I think Chelsea's wide players must make an impact without overthinking. Against Bournemouth, you could see that when Chelsea get to the final third, players like Garnacho, Neto, and even Joao Pedro or maybe Liam Delap, especially Neto, would stop his head bent down. He's not looking up, and then before he raises up and makes a decision, the Bournemouth defensive line were already back in shape. Okay, and we also talk about key areas where I think this game or this match will be won. Okay, I think that first and most important place is going to be the midfield. If Chelsea control the second ball or win the second ball, Atlanta will lose rhythm. The wide transition as well, early switches can expose Atlanta's weak and wing back system. And the most important thing that Chelsea need to do is to maintain composure under pressure. The team that stays calmer wins. And Chelsea do not. Chelsea, we don't really necessarily need dominance. We we need to be able to we need to be clear on what we are doing, on what the team is doing. Because without that, and we invite pressure, unnecessary pressure, and that's where the problem is. The real difference between both teams is that Atlanta, they are intense, brave, and emotion driven. While Chelsea, we all know how technical Chelsea is, more structured, but we are still learning when and where we need to speed games up. This difference won't be about talent. It won't be talent at all. It will be about decision making. And if Chelsea respect this game rather than forcing it, this is where I think Chelsea can come out on top. Okay, and that being said, let's just go right into my lineup, what I think the lineup should be, and then I'll wrap up with my score prediction. So this is my lineup, and we need to talk about Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez's performance of late has not been talked about enough. I think it needs to be called out for what it is. And I want to say kudos to Sanchez for the for stepping up his game. I mean, there's literally nothing I can ask of him beyond what he's doing right now. And I want to say well played. to Sanchez. So that being said, my goalkeeper for this is not going to be Jorgensen. It's going to be Sanchez in goal, with the back four of Achempong at right back, Chaluba and Badiashile as a centre back pairing, and Cucurella playing at the left back. And then my midfield pivot of Reece James and Moises Caicedo, with Enzo Fernandez playing as the 10. And my attack trio is going to be Esteval from the right, Garnacho on the left, and then McGew as the striker, because right now I don't want Tosin anywhere the Chelsea lineup, and I don't want Joao Pedro starting ahead of Gil, because even though Gil needs improvement in certain areas, his shooting and his decision making, he still gives Chelsea what the two leading strikers cannot give. That's very, very integral to Chelsea's game, which is the press. And McGew, we all can see how 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 much of a runner McGew is. Man will run down the grass and can press you into oblivion. That's how intense McGew is, and we need that energy, so to say. I think over time he's still 19 years, so it's expected. We can't afford to put so much pressure on him, but the bare minimum that is expected of McGill is for him to, I mean, give us that pressing, the press that we actually that Chelsea need. And Joao Pedro is a shell of himself. Is underwhelming. His performance is nothing to write home about, and I hope that he can fix that as soon as possible. So this 11, this my starting lineup is just, I think is good enough and should be able to do the job against uh, Atlanta. Chaluba and Badiashile provide physical security and height, with Cucurella's discipline suiting this matchup. Reece James and Caicedo the settling the midfield matchup in terms of energy and chaos, while Enzo Fernandez IR becomes the pressure valve, as well as the link up between, I mean, the one who picks out the pocket spaces and all that. And this is just it's about uh youth. I mean, they're all young, but then we all know that one side is younger than the other, or one side is more matured or more is older than the other, and a mixture of both experience to an extent, and then energy or intensity. That's why I'm going with this lineup, and this team or this lineup should be able to absorb pressure, play through it, and attack quickly when Atlanta overcommit. And like I said, yeah, this is Chelsea we need to react, and there is no better opportunity than for Chelsea to react than this one, Atlanta, in the Champions League fixture. It's a reaction game. It's not a showcase. It's not a statement. It's a response. Okay, Chelsea need to stay compact, be intentional in transition, and use the bench wisely when momentum shifts. A mature away performance here goes a long way. Okay, and to wrap up, I'm going to wrap up with my score prediction, and I want to expect that I don't care how Chelsea need to win, just win the game. Okay, win the game and come back home with a 3 point, and then we can worry about the next game, which is the Everton game of the weekend. And that being said, my score prediction is going to be, because this Atlanta team, they're just like this Bournemouth or Everton side. My I'm going to go with Chelsea 2, Atlanta 1. Yeah, 2-1. 2 to Chelsea, Atlanta 1. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video and turn on the notification bell so that you're notified when I put a video out, because I'm going to be here to give you guys my match reaction just immediately after the game. And yeah, don't forget to share this video, because it's the only way you can help me grow this channel. Until meet again, it's Chelsea first, rivals next. Peace.